I've been in this business, the porn business, the sex work business, since I can sit here and say probably 1999. I've been dealing with escorts, porn stars, and everything else up under the sun. I've helped girls make money as escorts as well as porn stars. But one of the things that made the money is that escorting, porn, sex work was basically taboo, done in the dark, behind closed doors. It made it exclusive. It made it special. It's kind of like you want to know what's behind the platinum door, even though you got into the gold door. Then once you get in the platinum door, then you're gonna want to see what's behind the diamond door. Same thing here. And the game of adult film has been changing year after year. The game changes rapidly and quick. The sex game, the sex work game changes year to year. But Manhattan did something. And what is so funny is that it didn't get no traction in the news. People wasn't sitting here screaming, calling for the mayor of 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 New York to be fired, and whoever came up with this idea of no longer prosecuting prostitutes in Manhattan blew my mind, because I'm like, about 5, 6 years ago, this would have been on Fox News, CNN. You would have heard Don Lennon talk about it. You would have heard everyone sitting there saying, why are you doing this, 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 this? This is equivalent to New Amsterdam in The Wire, when they took all the drug dealers and all the coke heads and crack heads and put them in one spot in Baltimore and said, you can do what the fuck you want, and crime disappeared. The question is, why? Why did Manhattan make this big move? And what did this mean? Well, one, I can tell you one reason why, because the sex game has now become normalized, from porn to escorting. Thanks to OnlyFans. Thanks to the celebrities getting on OnlyFans. Thanks to Miss London and Tiana Trump. Sex work has now become normalized. It's no longer shocking. That's why I don't understand why anybody would even be ashamed of doing this shit anymore. Hey, how you doing? And welcome to the STO Smokers Lounge here on Anchor, the best app for you to use to start your podcasting. So go to app.fm or go to your app store on your cell phone and download Anchor today and start podcasting like me. This podcast is brought to you by, sponsored, loved, and backed by the Facebook of the LS community. I'm talking about lsworld.com. Go ahead, go over there now, get yourself a profile. They have listings for different events in your area that's a part of the LS community. As well as you can mix and mingle with other people, couples, unicorns, cucks, subs, slaves, doms, whatever you're looking for, lsworld.com got you covered. And we also a proud member of the GW District Black Podcast Network. So go over to shop.gwdistrict.com and listen to me and 10 other amazing podcasts that are run by black folk. Oh, and while you at shop.gwdistrict.com, you also get the opportunity to shop and buy products from over 1,000 sellers that are black. We talking about black owned, support black businesses. And if you're a black business, you can go there today and get your own account and sell your products on the site. So go to shop.gwdistrict.com today. Buy black, support black businesses, and help build the black economy so we can build a generational wealth. I am your host, Kavanaugh, the porn rap star. I'm a rapper. I used to do porn. I'm retired now. And I'm a podcaster. You can follow me on social media. Where can you follow these links? Let me tell you. allmylinks.com/porn rap star. You can go there now and find all my porn links. Right now I'm running discounts on my mini vids as well as my Black Bull sessions. You can also see my shit for free at my X videos. You can follow me on social media. You can also check out all my latest release as far as music on all platforms such as Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, Google, you name it. I got music on that motherfucker. So go check me out, okay? It's actually under Kavanaugh the Southern Champ. So either way, you can find all these links at allmylinks.com/porn rap star. How you doing? Today is Wednesday. You'll be hearing this on a Thursday. And today we're talking about the normalization of the sex trade, of porn and everything else. Like I was saying, Manhattan made news and they announced this that they would no longer prosecute prostitutes. Now, the first question is, why? Well, let me give you the surface answer. One, you know how much manpower it takes to have the police escorting? That means you got to sit here and have people sit in front of the damn computer to sit here and try to get these girls. You got to take bodies for stings and the van to put them in. Half the time these girls might go to court. Half the time they won't after they bail out. And it's a misdemeanor. It's not even a felony. It was a law that was called the transsexual walk law, where they would arrest guys who'd be walking beside the transsexual trying to get sex. And they're doing this because at the end of the day, the sex game is being basically made normalized. Now, why I'm saying this is because, well, one, Manhattan is really just a test sample size. Because what I'm thinking about to happen in the next 10 years, I'm about to blow your mind, next 10, 20 years, prostitution will either be legal or would not be prosecuted by anybody in the United States. Now, what this means for the girls? That means that, one, you can call the cops without worrying about being arrested for solicitation of sex because they're not going to prosecute you for that. Two, that means that ladies can smoke a blunt, talk to a dude about selling her pussy to him in front of the cop, and only the cop can say, well, can I book your time and can I hit that blunt? Can't take her to jail. See, I've been saying prostitution need to be legal because it's between two consenting adults. The man or the woman is paying for the time of this prostitute and his services, his or her services, just so happen to be sex. And some of these girls don't even have sex. Some of the sessions don't even involve sex, honestly. But a lot of them do. Let's keep it real. Now I'm going to talk about the good and bad of this. And then, of course, I'm going to talk about the normalization of what's going on with porn. The other reason underneath the surface is, let's keep it 100. OnlyFans is now mainstream. OnlyFans is now a pop culture reference, as they would say. The rappers talk about it. They talk about it more than they talk about Cash App. You got female rappers who right now have OnlyFans and fucking and sucking on the motherfucker. You have girls that's coming out of high school saying, you know something, fuck going to college, I'm going to get me an OnlyFans. It's that serious. Yes. I'm waiting for the day that one of my nieces or nephews sit here and tell me, hey, how do I do this porn shit? How I start OnlyFans? Because it's becoming normalized. It's no longer shock and awe. It's no longer, oh my God, you do porn. Now it's, you do porn. You got OnlyFans. Yeah. That's why I find it funny, like when I remember when Don Lennon was talking shit about Stormy Daniels and the girls from The View were talking all this shit about her being a porn star and this, that, and the third. Now, Some of your daughters might be damn doing fucking porn. In college, twerking butt ass naked, getting paid for it. Now, why is they going through all this? What's the purpose? What is the advantages of legalizing prostitution? Or not prosecuting it? Well, one, guess what you take away? The pimp can't say that he's motherfucking protection anymore because she can call the cops. That's one. Two, now Johns will have to keep in mind that I can't do no shenanigans because she can call the cops. So go ahead and try to rob a bitch now, motherfucker. Your ass be arrested in 6 minutes and she won't go to jail neither. But the downside, when you normalize something or you legalize it, I'll give you an example. Weed. Remember in Colorado, they legalized Colorado weed recreational. That was the first place that did recreational. They saw how much money that Colorado was making from recreational weed, and other states started to follow suit. Of course, my state ain't done it yet. We too fucking dumb. But that's a story for another day. We the last in everything. We the last to get the lotto. We the last to get it together when it comes to transsexuals and gay pride. We just, maybe because we in the Bible Belt, or maybe because we run by a bunch of dumb idiots, but I digress. Now, the downside of this happening is that the price of pussy is probably going to go back down. Because if they ever legalize it, guess what? There's a lot of girls who would actually do escorting, believe it or not. And the only qualm they have about it is not their parents, it's not their boyfriend, is that it's illegal. So let's say if prostitution was legal, would you have an issue with it? No, you wouldn't. You look at it like stripping. Don't get it twisted. You got those Bible thumpers that look at stripping the level of that of porn and escorting. But let's be frank. The only reason why a lot of girls don't want to do escorting because it's illegal. If it was made illegal and you now have to have set up, brothels and you ain't got to worry about not going to jail, and you can worry about protecting yourself because you can just call the cops or what have you. You ain't even got to worry about getting kicked out of a hotel because you're an escort. He might can look at you with the side eye, but he can't kick your ass out no more, can he? But the downside is that more girls gonna get into it. And the downside is what happened back in 2000, I say 8. When prostitution and the price went down. Because girls started undercutting themselves. Girls started to charge 40 instead of 60 for their quick visit. Because at that time, 60 was the quote across the board for 15 minutes. But then girls started getting ambitious and decided to start 40. And the thought process was 40 for head. And if you want pussy, you got to pay extra. But these dumbass chicks look at it as, oh, I just charge 40. Then they start doing a lollipop special. All this is because you had Backpage and Craigslist. You had when the recession hit during Bush, you saw a swell of women going into the sex trade. It used to be a time where I used to be able to go on Craigslist back in the day. You might see 10 girls that were escorted. Within 2 years, you saw damn near 5 to 6 pages, and that's just in the same day. Same thing with Backpage. How many escort sites started to pop up? People forgot about Arrow's Guide. But that's the only thing the y'all girls got to worry about, because just in Manhattan alone, now that they know they can't be prosecuted, a lot of girls are going to go to Manhattan. That's going to create a lot of competition. So guess what? Price about to go down. So if y'all girls are charging, let's say 130, 200, 300, Oh, that shit about, yo, you gonna have to pay, you gonna have to charge about 150. Because everybody mama gonna go to New York. Because I ain't gotta worry about being pinched. I ain't gotta worry about the hotel watching me. I ain't gotta worry about the hotel saying I got too many visitors. Even the whole hotels can't even complain now. Harlem really about to be popping. Because that's part of Manhattan, ain't it? But the reason why, because the government, the people in power was seeing how the sex trade was becoming normalized. How many girls are doing OnlyFans? How many girls are webcamming? How many girls is in colleges right now got OnlyFans? You got Beltran, one of the biggest actresses in the fucking world. She started OnlyFans. So guess what Manhattan said? You know something? We see what's going on. Let's not prosecute these girls. They just trying to make a living. Besides, it ain't like they're going to show up to court. We can't hold them but for 24 hours. It's a misdemeanor. It's a waste of manpower and money and resources. Unless she's calling because she's getting her ass beat by a pimp. What the fuck? And guess what? You kill the sex trafficking because guess what? It's legal. And when something becomes legal, guess what ends up happening? The demand goes down a little bit because it becomes unspecial. Now that we got more access to weed, now we can we can legally buy weed in certain parts of the area. Think about the street dealer. The street dealer is now stuck to paying, selling dimes and 20s because that's the only thing you cannot buy at the weed dispensary. You can buy a quarter and up. So what if I don't have enough for a quarter, which is 40 or 50, but I do have enough for a 20? I call my weed man. And guess what the weed man gonna do? They just gonna go get themselves a pound from the weed dispensary and sell it y'all for a dime and 20. But guess what? Price of weed goes down. On the street for sure. Think about porn. It just became normalized, right? Look how many girls are right now doing $3 for 30 spots. Every girl that went from doing that to now I'm doing free. You can subscribe for free. But here's the kicker. It's not for free. You want to know why? Because for free, I wouldn't have to give my motherfucking credit card. That means it's free for 30 days. That's the hustle. But think about it. At a time in porn, you didn't do discounts because you didn't need to. You made your money and didn't have to do half as much. But as porn became more normalized, it made the girls have to work harder. They had to do more. And they had to come down their prices for their content. Normalization is good because it takes the shock value out of it. It kills the moral argument a lot because that's part of the shock is the moral. Why was prostitution made illegal? Not because logically it was illegal. It was illegal because it was immoral to the Christian faith. They felt that a woman should not sell her body to a man for sex. Hell, they believe that you shouldn't shack up. Hell, they believe you shouldn't have sex before marriage. Really? How I know if the pussy any good? But anyway. And girls say, how I know the dick any good? Does he eat pussy? You feel me? How many people want to sit here and really wait like that? You know how many relationships, marriages ended when they found out the husband couldn't fuck worth shit? I digress. But the point I'm trying to make, is that it takes the shock out of it. It takes the sting out of it. And it's more accepted. But it brings the value of it down. It brings the money down that you can make with it. And it opens it up to where anybody can get in. And it opens it up to where anybody can fucking do it. The biggest reason why a lot of girls did not want to do escorting was because they were afraid they would get arrested. And because they knew they couldn't call the cops, they were afraid they would get robbed and wouldn't nothing happen. Because of normalization of porn, because of normalization of sex work, because of normalization, period. Now we're allowing things that society would not necessarily accept nor allow. Don't get it twisted. Prostitution been here since the dawn of time, people. Prostitution was actually a prominent part of society in England. They used to have a book that discussed the top 10 prostitutes and the top 10 brothels in the country. The king it was nothing for the king to go see a hoe. And he wasn't ashamed and didn't give a fuck anybody knew. And the prostitute was actually revered and loved in society. Only in America where we made it seem like it was just terrible and bad. You know how many countries prostitution is legal? Or has some type of a legal aspect to it? Not the United States. But that's about to change. Plus the government also figured is seeing we can make money off these hoes. You want to know why? Let me tell you why. One, they can force them to have a license in order to do it. Now, meaning if you're not in a brothel, you have to get an independence contractor license, some type of shit like that. Meaning that you probably have to go through a psychological exam and you probably got to take do a regular, health department test and the whole nine. Maybe even show you a video of the hazards. Yes, we need you to come in to do a orientation video for you to get your independent sex worker license. Yes, it's a video about the dangers of sex work and what you need to do in certain situations. Yes, what time would you like to set that appointment? Yeah, you're coming to the HMV. Excuse me, you're coming to the DH, Department of Hose. Yes, Department of Hose, downtown Manhattan. Yeah. Yeah, just let them know you have an appointment to see the video and to apply for your license. You have legal brothels. Let me tell you another reason. Funny how this came off the heels of the 3 shootings at the massage parlors / brothels down in Atlanta. You get where I'm coming from? The government, the people in power are seeing that we kind of maybe need to back off of making this shit illegal. And 2, Matt Gaetz, if prostitution was legal, we wouldn't have anything to talk about when it comes to Matt Gaetz, don't you think? Other than the fact the girl was 17. But if she was 18, we couldn't say shit to him. They couldn't even say nothing about, well, they could probably say something about him misappropriating campaign funds to get pussy, but I digress. But normalization, that's what it brings. It takes away the shock value, but it also takes the shine off the box. Because part of the reason why these things, sex work, made money was because sex work was taboo. That what made it special. You spent the money because you didn't want everybody to know. How many parents used to hide their porn from their kids? Why did they put in North American Video, had the porn videos behind the black curtain? It made you want to go buy it. Porn is so normalized now that hell, mainstream porn, they might release a DVD, no one gives a shit. But it was a time when people did. See, understand this, in the next 10 years, you're going to start hearing girls say, there ain't money in it. It ain't money anymore. I used to make 20 grand on OnlyFans. I barely can make 500. Yeah, bitch, because the game done got so saturated, because the game done got so normalized to the point that you got girls coming out of high school that got a fatter ass, younger than you and prettier than you, doing the same thing you're doing. It's going to make the money spread out. The more people that's doing it, the more money that's going to be spread out amongst the people that's doing it. If you have 5 people doing it, let's say you got 5 people. That's 5 people and making money. That's a 5-way split. Now let's say you got $1 million. The porn business makes trillions of dollars. Fuck billions. It makes trillions. But it's spread out very heavily, even more now, because of the saturation of girls getting in it. Because all I got to do is pull out a dildo and fuck my pussy and I got it. Porn has become normalized. Why did it become normalized? How did it become normalized? Simple. Access. I can look at it on my phone. I can look at it on my iPad. I can look at it on my cell phone. Everyone talks about Pornhub. You hear people on podcasts. I done heard people on actual fucking TV talk about Pornhub. Now you got rappers doing OnlyFans. Sukihana doing OnlyFans. Tiger, he's doing OnlyFans. You got what's his damn name? Blueface. He's doing damn near OnlyFans on IG. And he got an OnlyFans. And this dude had a hit record. Celebrities entering the game is making it more normalized. The more it became a pop culture reference, it became more normalized. OnlyFans helped porn become more normalized. Believe it or not. And like I tell you, all these girls are sitting here posting, oh, I'm making 30 grand, I'm making 50 grand. In the next 2 years, no, I give it a year. Your shit about to drop in half. Because what's going to happen is, you're going to be a new crop hitting this summer. Because you got a whole bunch of high schoolers graduating. And these motherfuckers is ready to start their OnlyFans. And guess who's going to get pushed out the way? Y'all old hags. And the sad part is y'all old hags is what, 20, 22? It's the reason why I said ladies have a shelf life of 3 years. Because there's always new girls coming in. We don't have that problem as men because there's not a lot of men doing the business. There's more women doing the business than men because it's easier for y'all to get in it. Like I told everybody, when you normalize something, you lose something. And 9 times out of 10, it's the money. Imagine if they legalize drugs. Why would we need a drug dealer? You get what I'm saying? Why would I need a drug dealer? I can go get some coke. I can get me a key from the motherfucking government now. And where it ends up doing it, they're going to sell it for a certain amount. But if you try to get off the street, guess what? It's going to be cheaper because they can't compete with the government's prices. Wait till you get legalized here in North Carolina. If you want anything over a fucking goddamn quarter, I guarantee you're going to go to that motherfucking weed dispensary. Anything under, you talking to the weed man. And guess what? Because he got to get that shit off, that 20 sack going to be fat. That dime sack going to be fat. You're going to be seeing motherfuckers selling nicks. When the last time you actually paid $5 for a bag? You about to see that come back, ladies and gentlemen. Normalization has hurt the business. Whether you like it or not. Brazen just showed me that. You want to know why? Like I said in a previous episode, they shot a big girl and they shot a transsexual. When have Brazen ever done that shit? That means they're not making no fucking money. Their pockets is hurting. Have you heard anything from Vivid or Wicked anymore? Hell no. Their pockets is hurting. Because the business, which was once taboo, has now become normal. And guess what? Because it became normal, everyone thinks they can do it. Since everyone thinks they can do it, now you got more girls that's doing it, less girls that want to go to Hollywood, less girls that want to see a producer, less girls that actually going to shoot like a professional would. And guess what? More fans going to go see these bitches than go see the actual professional porn. Period. Smoke that over. Smoke that over for a minute. That's why I tell people, you got to pay attention to these in the business. You got to pay attention. Just like they were talking about Visa and MasterCard are now asking these companies to be way more a little bit more stricter on who the fuck they allow on their sites. They wouldn't be bitching about this if porn was never normalized. You want to know why? Because when it became normalized, a guy that did a rape video can put it on Pornhub and with nobody bat an eye. Because porn became normalized. Sex work is becoming normalized. Now, like I said before, this is a test vehicle what's going on in Manhattan. They're going to be crunching the numbers. They're going to see. They're going to watch. Right now, somebody's in a think tank trying to figure out how can we make prostitution legal and how can we make money off these bitches. How can we make government money off of them? So that's already in the works. So trust me, this is a plan that's been in the works for a decade. They just decided to use Manhattan. You want to know why? Because Manhattan is the biggest hub for escorting. No matter what country you are from, no matter what state you reside, you go to New York to sell pussy. That's why these motherfucking porn, these porn producers, these male talents, they get the cream of the crop because everybody comes to New York because vacation and money. Especially Manhattan. Now that Manhattan ain't prosecuting, yeah, a lot of girls gonna be going. You're gonna see girls goddamn motherfucking damn near moving to New York now. I got free reign. I get to make some motherfucking money. I ain't gotta worry about being harassed. I ain't gotta worry about certain aspects of the business, certain hazards of the business have now been completely washed away. And if things work out in Manhattan, guaranteed you're gonna see a state say we no longer prosecute prostitution. Then you're gonna see a state say, fuck it, we're gonna legalize it. Yeah. Cause you wanna know why? Cause the politicians want to pay for pussy too, people. They don't want to be like Matt Gaetz. So how do I make people, if they hear that, yeah, Senator Glasgow was found yesterday getting head from Tisha Sweet Candy in the hotel. News at 8. If prostitution is legal, that wouldn't make news. He wouldn't get in trouble, and nobody would bat an eye. They're legalizing it to save some of these politicians from being railroaded, prosecuted, and made to resign in the future. Because a lot of them politicians, even the women, even some of the women might pay for some dick and pussy, people. They say how has hurting the athletes. Every time these motherfuckers want to pay for some pussy, they get caught up. Think about little baby. I'm gonna tell you what was funny. People wasn't even outraged little baby paid for some pussy and hooked up with Miss London and the escort. They wasn't even mad about the shit. Because sex work then became normalized now. People don't get that. Normalization changes the game drastically. Especially a game that was meant to be behind closed doors and taboo. It changes the money in the game, the money dynamic for sure. And it also opens it up to where it's now a more viable option for people to get into. Now girls can come out of motherfucking high school and say, I want to be a hoe. It's legal. Miss Lady who been working at 9 to 5, who been thinking about doing sex work, but the only reason why she says she ain't gonna do it because it's illegal. Soon as it's made legal, guess what she gonna do? Motherfucker, I quit. My homegirl hypnotic. Excuse me, I'm hitting this good bud. Sorry about that, hitting this strawberry kush. Shout out to the neighborhood weed man. You know how many times she quit and went back? Now she quit and stayed gone because she ended up getting a job as a teacher. But man, she quit and came back so many times on it funny. And you want to know why? And she told me this a while back. She kind of missed doing it because she missed the money. Because she don't make as much money as that as a teacher. That money is addictive. Because even if the price go down, guess what? You still gonna make money. Because guess what? Guess who else is not gonna be worried about getting thrown in jail? LaJohns. So a dude that might be on the fence about paying for pussy, contacting the escort, because he worried about he about to go to jail. Take that out of the equation. You have more niggas calling girls goddamn to pay for pussy. Oh yeah, I want to book you. I heard it's no longer illegal. I want to come see you. They ain't got to worry about strings no goddamn more in Manhattan, do they? So it not only opened it up for girls to get in it, they also opened it up for Johns to do it more and newer Johns. Because like I said, there's a lot of guys that the only reason why they ain't paid for pussy because they was afraid they'll get arrested. See, when you take certain things out of the picture, it changed the game drastically. Why in the world you think in Amsterdam you don't pay that much for weed? You don't pay that much for drugs because it's legal. It's available in abundance. So they can't charge you for exclusivity or rarity. But don't wait for the day they got to go to Mickey D's and order a Big Mac and a blunt of some goddamn strawberry kush, nigga. I remember a friend of mine went over to Amsterdam when IBM was the shit. He told me about that. He said the restaurant, you got your menu for the wine, menu for the food, and menu for the weed. I can't wait to go to Amsterdam, baby. I'm going to go one day before I leave this earth. I'm telling you. That's one of my bucket lists. So, but like I was saying, that's the reason why they legalized it. They're test running it to see what it do. They're also trying to figure out how to make prostitution legal. Because if they decide to go ahead and make weed legal, why not prostitution? Like I said, think about the man hours and the resources and the money they have to spend to try to keep up with you hoes. They're tired of that shit. And y'all motherfuckers don't go to court anyway. And 9 out of 10, all you gonna do is you just gonna leave, let it die down, and come back anyway. Majority of the places, only a few places in the United States actually consider it a felony and jail you for 30 days. So the government is tired of chasing after you motherfuckers. They're like, fuck it. I guess since QAnon want to sit here and claim Democrats are sex traffickers, where they say, you know something, fuck it, let's go ahead and make it legal then. Since y'all think we are sex traffickers, let's go ahead and make it legal. Sex traffic that, motherfucker. To me, I'm actually happy. Don't get it twisted. Because that means you ladies are safe. That means you ladies can call a fucking cop if someone fucks with you. That means that the motherfucking stick-up kids may not come fuck with you because they may get caught. That means Johns can't stiff you anymore because you can call the cops. Yeah, dude stiffed me. He posted gay. He took the money and ran. Give me a description, man. What's his name? Here's his phone number. They going to knock on his door. Excuse me, sir. Did you go see Miss Honeywell's today around 4 o'clock? What you talking about? I don't know what you talking about. Is this your phone number? Hold on. Doot, doot, doot. Bring. Sir, I need you to turn, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for stealing from a hoe. But can we not do this? Cause my wife, man, fuck your wife. Did you think about your bitch when you wanted to go pay for some pussy and you spent $250 for an hour? So put your hands behind your back, sir. You're under arrest. He gotta go to court. He over there on the defendant's side. She over there on the plaintiff's side. She looking like she went to church and shit. He's sitting there trying to explain his case. The judge said, well, did she suck you off? Well, yeah. Yeah, she sucked me off. She gave you the pussy too, right? Yeah. Girlfriend experience? Anal? Come in mouth? Okay. Well, sir, I will side with the plaintiff, Miss Honeywell. You will give her $250 that you owe her plus court costs plus another $500 for what did you say, Miss Honeywell? Um, yes, mental and pussy suffering. Yes, yes. She said because of you she couldn't work and fuck for a week because of you. So yeah, yes, you have to do that, and yes, you have to pay that. Yes. Next case. Next case. This is Miss Juicy Pussy versus James Stanwell. Yeah, that could possibly happen in the future, ladies and gentlemen. It's a joke, but I'm dead serious. And what's so funny is the only person that said something about what Manhattan did was actually, believe it or not, Joe Budden. Wouldn't you know who won the pony? Mandy B ain't even said shit. And they supposed to be horrible decisions. Me and Joe Budden's the only ones that's on top of this story for you. You feel me? So in closing, porn, sex work is becoming more normalized by each month, by each day, by each hour, by each year. And it's gonna come a time where basically being a hoe is looked at in the same light as being an R&B singer and an actress in Hollywood. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you didn't learn anything? Smoke that over. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge.